Former Israeli ambassador to the U.S., Michael Oren, joins me now. Ambassador Oren, do you agree with the assessment of the U.S. president on the obliteration, I guess, of the 3 primary nuclear sites in Iran?
Well, good to be with you, John. Well, of course, the president is saying they're obliterated. It's beyond me to say that they weren't obliterated. There are different estimates, but the big question at the end of the day is not whether they were destroyed, the degree to which they destroyed, is the question, do the Iranians intend to rebuild them? I think the president is saying, well, if they try to rebuild them, they can rebuild them somewhere else. The question is, will they? And will they try to violate this ceasefire in any number of ways? It wasn't reported very much in the American press, but just about a week and a half ago, the Iranians sent 2 armed groups of terrorists across our border in the Golan Heights. They were all eliminated, but it shows that Iran is still a danger. So the big question is the United States keeping that credible military threat on the table? And will the United States give Israel the green light to respond militarily to Iranian violations of the ceasefire? I think that's the major issue here. And we still have to see whatever happened to that stockpile of enriched uranium, which was hidden before the war. No one has actually known where this is. And as long as Iran has that stockpile, still has ballistic missiles, and still has a warhead program, we have to worry about Iran breaking out and becoming a nuclear power.
We also have to worry about Iran activating terror cells in Israel and the United States, do we not?
We do indeed. And here's the world's largest state sponsor of terror, Iran, that has tried to kill the president of the United States, tried to kill a former national security advisor, and, by the way, tried to kill yours truly, tried to have an assassination attempt against me in downtown Washington as well. So this is a regime that is willing to carry out terror in America's capital and around the world. And I think the most important response here is not just to focus on the nuclear program, but to support Iran's status as that largest state sponsor of terror in the world and a country that is responsible literally for 99.9% of the upheaval, warfare, and bloodshed in the Middle East.
I want to turn our attention to the hostages still being held by Hamas. 651 days they have been in captivity, roughly 50 remaining. The president says that he believes 10 will be coming home soon. Can you give us any more information about that?
I think everyone wants a deal. Everyone wants a deal. The question is, what are the terms of the deal? Not far from where I'm talking to you now, about 50,000 Israelis were out protesting tonight in support of that deal. And the question is, will there be a ceasefire? The ceasefire will probably last about 2 months. What happens on the 61st day of the ceasefire? Will Israel have the ability to renew its efforts to rid Gaza of Hamas? Will Hamas leaders be exiled? Will the Gaza Strip be demilitarized? No more rockets, no more guns. These are big, big questions which have to be ironed out. And then, of course, if you get 10 hostages back, what about the other 20 remaining living hostages and the 30 presumed dead hostages? Their families are desperately, desperately waiting to give their loved ones a decent burial in their homeland. So these issues will remain to be ironed out. 10 hostages are certainly better than none. And the question, I think Israel is willing to pay a very steep price for it. At the end of the day, we have to think long term and think about what will happen if the Gaza Strip once again falls under Hamas's rule, and Hamas will launch, as they pledged to do, another October 7th, 2023.
Is the elimination of Hamas actually possible?
Well, it's elimination of Hamas as a threat. I don't think you can eliminate the idea of Hamas anyway more than you can eliminate the idea of Al Qaeda or ISIS. They're still out there. But without a state behind them, these terrorist organizations are much less a threat. And so to remove Hamas as a threat to the state of Israel, to demilitarize the Gaza Strip, to exile those Hamas leaders, yes, all of that is doable.
Michael Oren, former Israeli ambassador to the United States. Thanks very much, Mr. Ambassador.
Thank you, John.